today is the external environment for tourism, hospitality, and event organization, the micro context. What is industry analysis? Industry analysis aims to establish the nature of the competition in the industry and the competitive position of the business. Industry dynamics in turn are affected by change in the macro environment. There is a danger that industry analysis can be seen as one of activity but like a component of the strategic process. It should be undertaken on an ongoing basis. The industry analysis frameworks developed by Porter 1980. So industry analysis is a tool that facilitates a company understanding of its position relative to other companies that produce similar product or services. Understanding the force at work in the overall industry is an important component of effective strategic planning. Industry analysis enables small businesses owners to identify the threats and opportunities facing their business, and to focus their resources in developing unique capabilities that could lead the competitive advantage. There's a lot of factors that needs to be considered for carrying out any business. Here are the most commonly used frameworks for analyzing the external business environment, distinguished between two levels of environment influence. The first one is the microenvironment and the second one is the macro environment. So let us understand these two environment influence. So let's discuss first about the microenvironment. What is microenvironment? It refers to the environment which is in direct contact with company and affect the routine activities of business straight away. It is a collection of forces or factors that are close to the organization and can influence the performance as well as the day-to-day activities of the firms. So here are the components of microenvironment: the company, suppliers, marketing intermediaries, competitors, general public, and the customers. So the next one is the macro environment. What is macro environment? It refers to the major external and uncontrollable factors that influence the decision making of an organization. A company does not operate alone in its business environments but operates in a larger context. It comprises of the first that provide opportunities but at the same time also pose threats to the company. Here are the components of macro environments: demographic, economic, natural, technological, political, and cultural environment. So, that's all. Thanks for listening. Thank you.
Hello everyone, I'm Carissa Bier. My assigned topic is all about Porter's 5 forces model analysis. So, what are Porter's 5 forces? Porter's 5 forces is a model that identifies and analyzes 5 competitive forces that shape every industry and helps every industry determine weakness and strength. 5 forces analysis is frequently used to identify an industry's structure to determine corporate strategy. Porter's model can be applied to a segment of the economy to understand the level of competitions within the industry and enhance a company's long-term profitability. The 5 forces model is named after Harvard Business School Professor Michael E. Porter. The 5 forces are frequently used to measure competition intensity, attractiveness, and profitability of an industry or market. Porter's 5 forces are: the first one is threats of new entrants into the industry, competition in the industry, power of suppliers, power of customers, and the threat of substitute products. The first forces is all about threats of an entrance into an industry. It is a company's power affected by the force of new entrants into its market. The less time and money it costs for a competitor to enter a company's market and be an effective competitor, the more unestablished companies' positions could be significantly weakened. An industry with strong barriers to entry is ideal for existing companies within the industry, since the companies would be able to charge higher price and negotiate better terms. The second process is competition in the industry. The second of the 5 forces refers to the number of competitors and their ability to undercut a company. The larger the number of competitors, along with the number of equivalent products and services they offer, the lesser the power of a company. Suppliers and buyers seek out a company's competitions if they are able to offer a better deal or lower prices. The third force is power of suppliers. The next factor in the 5 forces model addresses how easily suppliers can drive up the cost of inputs. It is affected by the number of suppliers of the inputs of a good or service, how unique these inputs are, and how much it would cost of a company to switch to another supplier. The fewer suppliers to an industry, the more a company would depend on the supplier. As a result, the supplier has more power and can drive up input costs and push for other advantages in the trade. On the other hand, when there are many suppliers or low switching costs between rival suppliers, a company can keep its input costs lower and enhance its profits. The fourth force is the power of customers. The ability that customers have to drive prices lower or their level of power is one of the 5 forces. It is affected by how many buyers or customers a company has, how significant each customer is, and how much it would cost a company to find new customers or markets for its output. A smaller and more powerful client base means that each customer has more power to negotiate for lower prices and better deals. A company that has many smaller and dependent customers will have an easier time charging higher price to increase profitability. The last forces model is the threat of substitutes. The last of the 5 forces focuses on substitutes. Substitutes goods or services that can be used in place of a company's product or services pose a threat. Companies that produce goods or services for which there are no close substitutes will have more power to increase prices and lock in the favorable terms. When close substitutes are available, customers will have the options to forego buying a company's product, and a company's power can be weakened.
Force 1. The threat of new entrants to the industry. The threat of entry to an industry by new competitors depends upon the height of a number of entry barriers. Barriers to entry can take a number of forms. Number 1. The capital cost of entry. The size of the investment required by a business wishing to enter the industry or industry sectors will be an important determinant of the extent of threat of new entrants. The higher the investment required, the less the threat from new entrants is likely to be. The lower the required investment, the greater the threat. Capital cost of entry. Sinasabi dito na kung sino yung may mas malaking investment, mas less yung banta na matatanggap niya sa iba compared dun sa mas mababa yung investment. Kasi pag mas mababa yung investment, mas malaki yung threat na matatanggap nila compare sa iba. In some areas of TEH, such as the building of a hotel or visitor attraction, starting a cruise line or launching an airline, the capital costs are clearly quite. In other areas of TEH, such as starting a tour operator, a travel agency, an internet intermediary, or an event management company, the capital cost might be relatively low since they do not normally require the purchase or expensive asset. Number 2. Brand loyalty and customer switching cost. If the companies in an industry produce differentiated products and services and customers are loyal to particular brands, then potential new entrant will encounter resistance in trying to enter the industry. Brand loyalty will also be an important factor in increasing the cost of customers of switching to the products of a new competitors. For example, in some instances, tourism destinations products are able to fully differentiate the products. There is only one Louvre art gallery in Paris where the Mona Lisa can be viewed and the Emperor Penguin can only be viewed except in captivity in extreme southern latitudes. Similarly, there is only one Glastonbury Rock Festival held in Somerset, UK in the early summer each year. Thus, customers cannot switch to new entrants if they want to experience these attractions or events. However, in many cases, the consumers are driven by price and exhibit little brand loyalty. Thus, consumers may switch from existing tour operators, travel agents, hotel groups, event and attraction, and airlines to new entrants on the basis of a more competitive offerings. In some cases, however, switching costs are imposed through customer loyalty scams such as the frequent flyers and guest loyalty programs operated by airlines, hotels, and other suppliers. These programs such as American Airlines Advantage, Air France, KLM's Flying Blue, and Hilton, Honor, and Accor Group Lee Club Accor Hotels represent powerful incentives for the consumers to remain loyal to particular brands.
Para po sa ating lahat. So, ako po si Alpe Magayon and this is my topic. So, my topic is economies of scale or scope available to existing competitors if existing competitors are already obtaining substantial economies of scale. It will give them an advantage over new competitors who will not be able to match their lower unit cost of production. Primarily, refers to reductions in the average cost associated with increasing the scale of operations for a single product type. Economies of scope for an organization refers to lowering the average cost for a firm producing two or more products. For example, an airline operating to a single destination may be able to achieve economies of scale by operating a larger airplane as a business increasing since it will probably have lower operating costs per passenger. Similarly, if further routes are added to the airline network, economies of scope may occur since the cost of maintenance, sales and marketing, check-in staff, etc. may be shared by several routes, thus bringing average cost per passenger down. So yun nga, kagaya doon sa example na ating nabasa, kapag yung eroplano ay may single destination, maaari niyang ma-achieve yung economies of scale by operating a larger airplanes. Dahil kapag yung airplane pabalik isang pinupuntahan at yung maraming tumatangkilik o maraming sumasakay sa eroplanong ito, possible na tumaas yung kanyang kita at lalaki yung isang negosyo. So doon kasi makikita na kapag maraming tumangkilik nung yung serbisyo ng mababawi mo lahat ng ginastos mo, kagaya nung sa mga laborer, staff, sa operator, lahat yon mababawi mo dahil sa mga kinikita mo na nanggagaling sa iyong customer. Kagaya na lamang ng sa market, kapag yung product mo nasa market, kapag yung product mo hindi nabibili o hindi tinatangkilik ng tao, maaaring malugi o tumaas ang iyong gastos dahil marami kang binabayaran dyan na iyong inuupahan, tulad ng iyong mga employee na magdi-distribute ng iyong product, tapos yung mga pwesto pang tinatawag. So ganon, kapag walang tumangkilik, possible na walang kitain at malugi at hindi kumita ang iyong negosyo. So the next topic is access to input and distribution channels. New competitors may find it difficult to gain access to channel of distribution, which will make it difficult to provide their product to customers or obtain the inputs required. For example, in the case of the tour operator cited previously, such is the shortage of some categories of accommodations in some destinations that existing operators have sometimes contracted all the available capacity, thereby including new entrants to access to the necessary inputs. Furthermore, the existing large store operators have established distribution channels such as travels against call centers and the internets in their major markets, which they have developed over the years in order to provide the most cost-efficient means of distribution. A new entrant would be required investment in order to secure such as access. So, itong access to input and distribution channels, ito yung estratehiya kung paano mo mapaparating sa iyong customer kung anong product ang iyong binebenta o gusto iparating sa kanila. At kung paano mo sila ma-encourage na bilhin at tangkalikin ang iyong product. So, yun na lamang po at maraming salamat.
The resistance offered the existing business. If existing competitors choose to resist strongly, it will make it difficult for new organizations to enter the industry. For example, if existing businesses are obtaining economies of scale, it will be possible for them to undercut the price of new entrants because of their cost advantage. In some cases, existing competitors may make price cuts or increase marketing expenditures in order to deter new entrant. Dito, dapat alam mo yung iyong magiging competitors at kung ano ang kanilang ino-offer dahil ang magagamit mo ito upang baguhin ang iyong marketing strategy kahit na existing company na sila, malaki pa rin ang magiging advantage mo kapag nalaman mo ang kanilang mga kahinaan. Barriers to entry make it difficult for new competitors to enter the industry, then this will limit the amount of the competition within it. As a result, competitors within the industry will attempt to seek to strengthen the barriers to entry by cultivating brand loyalty, increasing the cost of entry, and trying up the input and distribution channel as far as is possible. Conversely, potential new entrants will lobby for the removal or reduction of such barrier in order to allow them to enter the industry and compete for business. In other words, they will try to make the industry contestable as it is sometimes termed. Ang barrier sa new entry, una dyan ang brand loyalty, and dahil ang mga customer sa industriya ay nagpapakita ng matinding kagustuhan para sa mga produkto or serbisyo ng mga kasalukuyang kumpanya. Ang pangalawang nakikita ko ay ang cost advantage ng all business sapagkat ang mga kasalukuyang kumpanya ay madaling makagawa at mag-alok ng kanilang mga produkto or serbisyo sa mga mababang halaga presyo o kaysa sa mga bagong kung pasok pa lang. At alam naman natin kapag new business, dapat meron kang capital upang magamit ang iyong business, upang magamit sa iyong business upang makilala ito ng iyong mga customer kung ano ba ang iyong ino-offer na halimbawa ko diyan yung mga gasto sa pag-advertising ng mga product tulad ng magbibigay po ng mga flyers, tarpaulin at iba pa.
The threat of new entrants to the industry. Threat of new entrants means the existence of barriers to entry, economics of product, difference, brand equity, capital requirements, access to distribution, absolute cost advantages, learning curve advantages, government policy. One of the barriers of entry is government regulation. In some situations, new competitors are prevented from entering the market by government of intergovernmental regulation of the sectors or THE. Sa ilang sitwasyon ay pinipigilan ang mga bagong competitors na mag-entry sa market ng gobyerno o intergovernmental or kung kaugnay o siya sa gawa sa pagitan ng dalawa o higit pang pamahalaan ng sektor ng T or THE. For example, provision of accommodation and services for tourists by organization is strictly regulated within the internationally renowned national parks of the USA such as Yellowstone and Yosemite. This is in marked contrast to the largely unregulated position outside the parks. Pagbibigay ng tirahan at serbisyo para sa mga turista sa pamamagitan ng mga organisasyon ay mahigpit na kinokontrol sa loob ng kanilang pambansa sa buong mundo. Mga parke ng USA tulad ng Yellowstone at Yosemite. Ang kaibahan ng sitwasyon sa labas ay mga parke ay halos hindi kinokontrol. The institutional environment plays a very important role in regulation competition, particularly in transition countries such as China. Sa China, ang sektor ng hotel ay bukas sa dayuhan pamuhunan sa loob ng mahigit na 2 dekada at may sari-sari na struktura sa pagmamayari, samantalang ang sektor ng mga serbisyo sa paglalakbay ay pinapangunahan ng mga kumpanyang pag-ari ng gobyerno at medyo sarado sa dayuhang pamuhunan. The next is the trait of substitute product. The trait of substitute product means buyer propensity to substitute, relative price, performance of substitutes, buyer switching cost, perceived level of product differentiation. A substitute can be regarded as something which meets the same needs as the product of the industry, and it means ang kapalit ay maaaring tukuyin bilang isang bagay na tumutugon sa parehong mga pangailangan bilang produkto ng industriya. An individual wishing to cross the English Channel between England and France can choose to travel by cross-channel ferry up by the train service using the tunnel. Ang lahat ng mga produktong ito ay nagbibigay ng benepisyo sa customer na patawid sa France. Sa kabila ng katotohanan, ang ferry ay mga serbisyo ng mga tren at binibigay ng iba't ibang industriya.
Good day everyone. The topic that I will going to discuss is the extent of the threat from a particular substitute will depend upon 2 factors. The first one is the extent to which the price and performance of the substitute can match the industry's product. Close substitute whose performance is comparable to the industry's product and whose price is similar will be a serious threat in the industry. The more indirect the substitute, the less likely the price and performance will comparable. Since most the products are of relatively high cost and the expenditure is usually seen as the luxury rather than a necessity, the products will compete for disposable income with other high-cost items such as cars and white goods. For example, Jollibee and McDonald's are close substitute and they have same product with same price. It will be a threat for both company because there is possibility that a customer will eat to its competitor. The second one is the willingness of buyer to switch to the substitute. Buyers will be more willing to change supplier if switching costs are low or if the competitor product offer lower price or improved performance. This is closely tied in with the extent to which customers are loyal to a particular brand. The more loyal customers are to the one supplier's product for whatever reason, then the threat from substitute will be accordingly reduced.
Meaning, if you have a loyal customer, even your competitors offer a lower price than the price of your product, it will still not get the loyalty your customer has. So that's all. Thank you.
Switching costs. Switching costs, one of the key strategic maneuvers in maintaining customer loyalty is to increase the cost to the customer of changing to a new supplier. If switching costs are high, then customer will have an economic disincentive to switch and hence will tend to stay with the existing supplier. For direct substitutes, switching costs may be increased by customer loyalty schemes or promotional offers to existing customers. For indirect substitute, there are likely to be higher actual or perceived switching costs since the benefits derived from, say, a holiday or attendance at a festival are very different from those derived from buying, say, new washing machine, yet they both compete for a share of consumer disposable income.
The bargaining power of buyers. The extent to which the buyers of a product exert power over a supplying organization depends upon a number of factors. Broadly speaking, the more power that buyers exert, the lower will be the transaction price. This has obvious implications for the profitability of the supplier. The bargaining power of buyers is one of the Porter's 5 forces, which refers to the pressure that customers and consumers can put to get the higher price and good services, and they can also offer affordable price to the customers or the consumers.
There are 3 factors that affect the relative power of buyers. So the first one is the number of customers and the volume of their purchase. The fewer the buyers and the greater the volume of the purchase, the greater will be their bargaining power. A large number of buyers, each acting largely independently of each other and buying only small quantities of product, will be comparatively weak. For example, the major cross-line operating in the Caribbean, of which there are relatively few, have power over the many competing small Caribbean islands destination when deciding on their cross schedules and negotiating port charge. On the other hand, individual traveler will have limited bargaining power when dealing with large cross lines since there are many such customers but relatively few cross lines.
Number 2, the number of businesses supplying the product and their size. If the supplier of the product are large in comparison to the buyers, then the buying power will tend to be reduced. The number of supplier also has effect. Fewer supplier will tend to reduce the bargaining power of buyers as choice and the ability to shop around is reduced. Kung ang mga supplier ng isang produkto ay malaki o marami kumpara sa mga mamimili or customer, mababawasan ang kakayahan ng bawat mamimili sa pagbili ng produkto dahil ang bawat customer ay bumibili ng products based on what they need or what they want. The simple truth is that no one will buy if they don't want it or believe they don't need it. Kapag kakaunti naman ang supplier, maaari makaka-apekto rin ito sa bargaining power ng mga mamimili. Dahil kung wala ng product, nakalimitan o nakasayanayan nilang bilhin, mapipilitan silang bumili o lumipat sa ibang produkto or product or tinatawag natin pamalit na produkto. Dito sa number of business supplying the product and their size, kailangan alam natin kung ano ang sapat na supply ang kailangan ng bawat customer. Sumobra man tayo pero hindi tayo aabot sa oversupply. Number 3, switching costs and the availability of substitute. If the cost of switching to the substitute products are low, the customer will accordingly more powerful. Kapag mababa ang price ng pamalit na product, mas maraming customer ang bibili, lalo na kung pareho lang ang benefits na makukuha natin dito. Kung magpapatuloy ang paglakas ng produkto o pagiging patok sa bawat customer, hindi kikita or hindi tutubo ang industrial products.